everyone, welcome or welcome back to Higher Max. Obviously, you've seen the title of the video. We will be discussing the Real Housewives of Durban pilot episode. And if you're here, you're either in two categories. You either want to know whether you should watch the show, or you've watched it and you want to discuss some of that tea. And that, best believe, I have a lot to say about some of the things that happened towards the end of the episode. But before we continue on, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the socials, my personal one down here below, and of course my second page called Confessions of a Black Girl, which is a space for Black girls, women, and femmes to feel celebrated and vulnerable. Now, let's get into this video. As I said, I will first be discussing the show and the premise and some of the cast, and once I get into some of the spoiler kind of content, I'll let you know, and there will obviously be timestamps down below. The Houses of Durban is being shown on Showmax. I believe it was originally supposed to be on One Magic. I do not know why it moved from One Magic to Showmax, but here we are. This is marketing for Showmax. Yeah, it worked because I'm back. I got my subscription back just to watch Real Housewives of Durban. So let's talk about the cast real quick. As you know, one of my favorite parts about reality TV is you just see rich people doing rich people things, just living their life, doing the most. I enjoy that type of stuff because I'm like, okay, you know, it gives me stuff to aim for. So we're gonna go through some of the ladies and kind of what they do, their lifestyle. And we're gonna first start off with Sarisha, or I think it's Sarisha or Sarisha. Girl, when I say this lady is balling, she is balling. Yeah, like just the drone shots of her house alone, I was like, okay, ma'am, I see you. According to her Instagram bio, is a personality, a radio presenter, all the things, and she's married to her husband, who is, from what I can see, also extra balling. They are living the lavish life. I feel like I saw a Rolls Royce and a G-Wagon, but I believe there's also a Bentley. I think that's what Khomotso said. And let's get into Khomotso. She is a business owner. She owns a company called Oak Celeb, I believe, and they do event hosting, floral, etc, etc. And she also has a Lapa brand, which I believe does bath and body luxury type of thing. She's married to Odwan Gubane, who was a rugby player. So, and they have like a cute little family dynamic going on. I can see that they're both very involved, and that's something that they really spoke about a lot. Next, Annie, who I believe is married to Kholom Tembu. She's got her fingers in many pies. She owns a dance agency, a marketing agency, and a hair salon called Anesthetic. And we have Ayanda, who is the CEO of Mwane Communications and also the president of Africa Gospel Awards. And she was married to the late Sfiso Ngwane, who passed away in 2010, and he was a well-known gospel singer. There's gonna be tea about her soon, unfortunately, but like it has to be discussed. NONKU, I believe, works in construction. We see that her, she's a boss. She also has, like my friend was saying, very heavy on women empowerment. Last but definitely not least, Miss NONKU Williams. And she is a business owner, and I believe she's about to open a winery. Now, from what I remember, all of the women are mothers. This was just kind of a quick rundown through the cast, and I'll tell you my thoughts on them later. This is just for the people who haven't watched, if they're just like, who are these people about? Cool. Now, the premise, as usual, the premise of this first episode was that the whole thing was surrounded around Sarisha planning a Diwali event. From what I can tell, most of the show, I believe, was filmed during lockdown, during quarantine. I only say this because it's always either in someone's house, like meetings are either in someone's house, or when it is not at someone's house, it feels very isolated wherever they're meeting. So I believe that is maybe a difficulty that happened during filming, but I think for the most part, they worked around that. Now, if you want to know my thoughts on the episode, I think before we get into the drama, I think that some of the ladies are still learning to be themselves on camera, and it shows. But as I said, maybe as the episodes develop, I don't want to give a rating too soon. And for those of you who don't know whether you should or shouldn't watch it, watch the first episode. And if what happens at the end does not hook you, then you can shut it down. Then you can take away my recommendation. But I just think watch the episode, because even I throughout it was like, okay, but the ending snatched my soul. Something I wanted to ask, and I asked one of my friends, how do people feel that, you know how at the beginning of all, and if you don't, at the beginning of all Real Housewives episodes, each time they have a title sequence and they will hold something that represents the city that they are in. So for example, one of the most well-known franchises is Atlanta, and so they hold a peach because a Georgia peach. Wearing the isicholo, which if you don't know, that's the Zulu traditional hat, either married women wear or used for special occasions. I was wondering, I already asked my friend, because that was something that I was like, there are people in this lineup that are not Zulu that are wearing it. Like, what are people's thoughts on that? I know what I think. I think they could have chosen something else that represents Durban that would not be seen as cultural appropriation, but that could just be me. Like, let me know down below what you think about that. Now, if you haven't watched, this might be your time to hop off, or you should be ready to hear some spoilers, because there's some things we need to discuss. So as I said, I feel like they are still learning to be on camera, and the scenes that made me feel that way was when Vinny and, well, what am I calling him Vinny like I know him? Sarisha and her husband are first talking in the morning before his trip. Like, I understand that reality TV is heavily produced. I don't take that away. It is heavily produced. I also understand that sometimes it takes people to show themselves on camera. I will be the first person to say that. I film videos, and sometimes I don't feel like the person who I am translates over camera, but that's just me talking to a camera. I guess it must be even harder when you are having the cameras watch you. But there's just, like, her conversation with her husband, it didn't seem like the type of conversation they would have if the cameras were gone. It seemed like he was giving her a whole portfolio of the things that they do. I love their dynamic, but I was just like, okay. Even when Khomotso and her husband were having that conversation, when she was talking about how Sarisha wants her to have flowers ready and things like that, I was like, okay, he's wearing his suit and you are dressed nicely and you're sitting and you have your drink, and it just looks so formal that I don't believe that that's, maybe, but I don't believe that that's kind of like what they would do on a daily basis. I don't know, there was just something about that conversation that I was like, okay, cool. It just feels unnatural. But as I said, the ladies, I'm still gonna give them time to adjust. I don't want to judge them prematurely, because that happens in a lot of reality TV shows. As someone who watches them a lot, sometimes people are like Anini Leaks, who from day one, hour one, minute one, they just can do it, and sometimes it just is. It takes some time to develop that. So I'm waiting on that. I wanted to talk about what kept me watching throughout the episode, because as I said, there were moments that I was like, okay, this feels forced. Some of the phone calls, I was like, this feels very, it didn't feel like in the moment, but I kept on watching. And my best friend Khoto was like, no, just keep on watching, because at the end you will be like, what the fuck. We need to unpack what happened at the end of that episode, because I'm not comprehending. I'm definitely not comprehending. Because if you've watched, you know, they have the Diwali dinner at Sarisha's place, and then the women are sitting at the table. The minute that Ayanda entered the building, NONKU had a vibe and an attitude. And me and the girls included were not understanding. The girls were confused. The girls wanted to know what the elephant in the room was. Because we're all like, you didn't have this energy for anybody else. As soon as she enters, like, hi, hello, you don't know who I am? You don't know me? Oh, I know you. So I was confused. And then, okay, the elephant in the room continued. And then she's ready to address it. And when she addresses it, she says, I had a child with your late husband. I am that NONKU. I'm that NONKU. Dude, let me tell you why on multiple levels this was ridiculous. And also, let me say, I watched Real Housewives of Atlanta, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Real Housewives of New Jersey. I just started Real Housewives of New York. I also watch Real Housewives of Joburg, obviously. And this has to be maybe one of the most audacious things that has happened in a season premiere. Like, it has to be one of the most audacious things I have seen starting a show. How, girl, first of all, as Ayanda, like, I would be so taken aback. First of all, we're at a stranger's house. We're at a stranger's, like, okay, yeah, I know Srisha, whatever, but this is a stranger's home, and you are going to tell me something that is sensitive to me and my family in front of other strangers. And my question for NONKU is, why were you so mad with Ayanda when she came in? Do you guys know each other? Like, why did you have that energy? Because for me, as far as I'm concerned, she should have had that energy for you. She should have had the energy for you. Like, you were acting like the woman scorned. So I'm just trying to, like, it's I think if 2 and 2 is 4, if I'm 5'10", what the fuck is this? I was trying to understand, because I'm like, I was baffled. And imagine hearing that kind of news in front of all these people. First of all, you want me to throw up and faint at the same time. And even though I can tell that Ayanda, like, if we look at the episode coming after this, Ayanda knew that there was something like this happening, but maybe she didn't know who the exact person was. Or even if she did know who you were. Okay, so like what, like, why would this be appropriate? Like, for the last 5 minutes alone, I will be watching the rest of the season. I just want the people who produce the show to know, just for those 5 minutes, you've got me. Because I don't think any other drama could have clipped me like that. I was so shook. Like, let me know down below what your thoughts are, because I think it was an inappropriate conversation to happen at the dinner table, at somebody else's house, at someone's event, with so many strangers around. That's like not the type of conversation you need to have. But where do we go from here? Because this is also the next issue. Sviso has passed away. So where do we go from here? Like, where are we supposed to be? Because as far as I'm concerned, this is going to divide the group somehow. It's going to divide the group somehow, because, and then, like, what? I'm still like, what? What happened? What happened? I'm still in shock. I'm confused. Are the women going to talk about this? Have they not met? I thought maybe they would have met at the funeral, but then also just men is all I have to say. Men. What was the tweet when someone said, after God, fear men? Yes. Yes. Because really, now I have to go to dinner parties where people are confronting me about love children. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. Y'all let me know down below what you thought. I'm gonna continue watching this season just because of those last 5 minutes. Guys, this is going to be an interesting season. I am very excited. Best to believe I will bring you some reviews. Also, Love Island South Africa is coming our way, so I'll be bringing you more reviews. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell. Did I forget something? And I'll be seeing you very, very soon with another video. Goodbye.